Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. Hear me loud and clear today. I'm going to start my broadcast, um, not having my microphone right. So, we are going to discuss something very important this evening. I would want many of us to join me. As usual, and as it is customary to this my evening broadcasts on Fridays, which you all know we titled it um, Friday Hangout with Maazi Ezeoke. I remain your host, your presenter, Maazi Ezeoke. This is where I torment bad governance. Anything that is not right within the society, we discuss them here. You have time to call in and we will all look at it. So today I'm looking at, everywhere you look in Nigeria, we have the end SARS, reform SARS. And basically, it is all about police brutality. It is nothing else but than police brutality. The police are brutalizing our young ones. Why? Those that we've given weapons, those that we've given, equipment to guide our lives, have suddenly turned and used these equipment that we have given them to protect lives and properties to be an instrument of oppression. Now it is time to say no to this level of madness. And I read somewhere today from the Twitter page of Ahmed, Bashar Ahmed, one of the essays to President Muhammadu Buhari on new media. And he tweeted that the president is aware and that the president got brief today that he is aware. I'm like, freaking hell. How can your president be aware today? Today is the 9th, I believe, or the 8th of October. Sorry, September. I think I'm moving. I am really moving quite. Um, Today is the 9th of October. That means you ask yourself, is this the first time Nigerians have been protesting about this police brutality? What I'm going to do this evening, in order for us, some of you who do not understand what is happening here, to get a grip and have a basic understanding of what is happening here, is that the police, those we have given our monies, those we have recruited to guide us, to protect our young ones, are the ones killing them. How and why? You see, let us not be hung up on semantics. I've heard arguments where people talk about, oh, it's end SARS, is reform SARS. People, that is a mere nomenclature. It doesn't really matter. Whether you're ending SARS, whether you're reforming SARS, we will get to that point. But the point that I want to start and I want to kick off with is the tragedy of the Nigerian police force. Now, this is not only to SARS. It has to do with the anti robbery squad. It has to do with anti kidnapping squad. It has to do with the regular policeman you see on the street because they are there to collect bribes and just, you know, flex you of your hard-earned money. They are there to obviously because there is no repercussion for the things they've been doing. That's why they keep doing it. There is no repercussion. No one pays the price. That's why the madness keeps happening. And I think every one of us, the only thing I can tell us, please, is if there is any way you can encourage those who have come out in the streets to say enough of this madness, enough of this nonsense happening, please do encourage them as well. And I heard that on Sunday this week, they want to take this protest international. And we will see if Njenje Media can cover that on Sunday to bring to the world what is happening. Because, you know, it beats me silly. We saw George Floyd in America when he died. Everyone, all lives matter, all lives matter. But in Nigeria, does your life matter? Does the lives of your children matter? Now, let me show us a picture of this man. You know, I don't know if honestly, sometimes words fail me how I should actually address this bunch of, so-called quote-unquote security men and women that we have employed to take care of our securities. Let me show us how these men, for some of you who haven't been in Nigeria, or rather who haven't been to Nigeria in a long while, who may no longer understand how these people look, I will show you how sometimes how they look. I was sometime last year driving from Omahia to Okigwe, and I was stopped at the bad, that Okigwe Omahia Expressway. I was stopped at that, a bad junction before Okigwe, and the men that stopped me, honestly, I thought they were kidnappers because I looked at them. They were wielding guns. They had slip on. None of them had shoes on. None of them had, normally any force officer must have a shoe that is laced up. But these are men wearing slip on, flip. Some people call them flip flop, as if they are going to the beach, as if they are just getting to the bar beach or somewhere. And you cannot believe that these are men. Yet, these are people. I will show us a picture of how one of them dressed. Then you wonder, these are people that will be, look at him here. He will be quick. Look at him. How can you believe in your widest imagination that this individual here is a police officer? Yet this man here will be so quick to arrest someone with a dreadlock. Yet, look at the manner, you know, just tell me, it's, what's the difference between what you're looking at now than a talk? What's the difference? Is there anything that you're basically going to look at this guy and you think, is there anything that clearly shows that he is a police officer? He's not. Not in any shape or form. Look at him. He just looks like a criminal. Okay? And these are people who have given the streets. Look at another colleague of his here. Tell me how this one, Shinarambo, how does he look like a police officer? And you ask yourself, why wouldn't they keep on doing this madness that they do? In all these things, I'm building up to something. And also, before I continue, I must pay respect to those young ones that have lost their lives in the brutality or in the hands of these officers. This is one of them, lost his life, his crime, that he is a Nigerian where life doesn't matter, and his killers basically went free. Nothing happened because up to today, no one has been brought to book. This is another young man who lost his life. You ask yourself, how long shall this madness continue? Again, we have, or rather, I have here um, other photos and other footage, basically that it breaks someone, I don't know. I don't know. It breaks my heart sometimes to watch um, some of these things. I mean, we I have well, I wouldn't show this because that is contains blood. A young woman killed unnecessarily. But again, here you also have the tweet that I talked about. Now read what the president he said. good people of Nigeria, so the good people of Nigeria have the rights to protest police brutality or anything they see is not going on well. The president was briefed yesterday by the IG. Now, I think the IG should resign. The president was briefed yesterday. This is, remember, when Buhari was sick, when he came back, before he came back actually, Osibanjo had already, then when we were talking about reform SARS, Osibanjo has disbanded SARS. And the president came back, everything went back to zero. This National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mongunu, also briefed the president. Briefing. Is it that the barber cannot barb properly, or that the razor or the scissors is not sharp enough? Why do we have the same reoccurring decimal all the time? Look at how people could just lose their lives because they are in a nation. Now, I want to show us a clip that would define the brutality that you probably have never seen in that format. You know, at some point, I have to. That's your own reasonings. That's your own citizen, your fellow citizen, just wasted in that manner. You know, I wouldn't, let me see if I could, let me make it big. Your own fellow citizens. Look at him. He was, you know, the police dragged him. Police dragging him. You know, I think he wanted to run. That's it. That's him on the floor. You know, that's it. He's dead. The young man just there, just seconds. Seconds. Police dragged him. The next thing, he wanted to run. I mean, that's it. He just died. And you ask yourself, is the president not seeing such? I am actually appreciative of the fact that Nigerians have taken to the street. You know, Nigerians have taken to the street to protest such inhumane these are Nigerians. These are Nigerians protesting, saying it is time you end this SARS of a thing because you know, and you can see them built. So you can see the youths are suddenly coming out to say enough is. You know, this guy is macaroni. So this is Idris Abdulkader, I think. You know, the guy that sang Nigeria Scatter, Scatter Everything, whoa, 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 as ever it is, to the point that the former president Olusegun Obasanjo actually said to him, "It is your papa that is..." Oh dear. It is your father that is scatter, scatter, not Nigeria. But now, you can imagine when Idris, I think Idris sang that song maybe around 2001 or 2002, or rather, between 2002 to 2003, if my memory serves me right. And the guy already sang Nigeria Jaga Jaga. How many years? 2002 to yet. And we are still talking about the same Nigerian Jaga Jaga.
You've been here since last night. What's the situation?
The situation has not changed. That's what we are saying. That's why all of these people are here now. Because they are tired. They are tired. The youth in Nigeria, we are saying enough is enough. We are saying we want to be heard. If all the youth in Nigeria die, who will be that future of tomorrow?
A very brilliant question. Those we have paid with the taxes we pay as Nigerians, as hardworking Nigerians, we pay taxes for the governance of the state, for the protection of lives and properties. And they use the same ammunitions that you give to them to maim, to kill without repercussions. The reason why this madness has continued is because they are not being punished enough. That's why. There is no other plausible reason.
No. Who is that future of tomorrow that they always say? Who is the future? So now we are tired. Now we want to take responsibility. We have a government that is accountable to us. You cannot be watching while white police officers that are supposed to be protecting our lives are killing us day by day. And we keep making noise about it. We keep making noise about it. The reason why I'm out here is because I'm scared. Tomorrow I could get a bullet in the air. My sister could get a bullet in the air. My friends could get a bullet in the air. Someone that I don't even know could get a bullet in the air. So we are tired. We are fed up. The government, since this thing started, we have not even heard anything. Someone should even say we are abreast of this situation. Let us know that our voices are being heard. We are tired. End SARS now.
You've been here since yesterday.
What do you want? End it now.
You've been here since yesterday. Now you're going to the State Assembly. What do you expect from the legislators?
We have told them. We have told them. They are there to speak for us. The laws that they make are to protect us. They are the ones making these laws. So help us. We cannot teach you your work, but we have told you what we want. Help us. That's what we are saying. Help us before they kill us. Okay. We don't want to die. We know our guys cannot die. They are the ones on top. Executive, legislative, all of them, they cannot die. They have people protecting them. I don't get security. I don't get bouncer. Everybody here don't get bouncer. So we need protection. And we are the ones that can protect us. The youths of this country are the ones that can protect us so that we can have something. The way it is in this country now, the little that is left. The little that is left in this country, we want to secure it. The youth want to secure it.
But they say that SARS is helping to fight crime.
What?
Which crime?
Egypt. Okay.
We're alive, please. But they say SARS is fighting crime.
Yes.
Is that not a problem? Is that
the news, my brother, you that you're asking me this question, the news that you have been hearing, are they fighting crime? Is it crime? Are they fighting crime?
Was that crime?
We are seeing, we are hearing killings day by day by SARS that are supposed to be fighting crime. So they are no longer fighting crime. They are fighting the people that they are supposed to be protecting.
Exactly.
And we've had enough. End SARS now.
What do you want?
End SARS.
What do you want?
End SARS.
What do you want? End SARS. They are dressed up like criminals. And
Now, let me play this again. You see your fellow citizen just being just go back. Your fellow citizen, your own fellow. That's it. That's it. Your fellow citizen. It's no longer time to sit on the sideline. It could be any of us. Some people made jest. Some people made, look at this. Someone sent this to me. I was laughing. It says, if you go straight, it's SARS. If you go right, is armed robbers. Do you know what that means? That is the level we have, we are now, where everyone is just scared. Every single person is scared. And the good thing is that this protest, honestly, I must commend everyone, even when they send these using the tigers to disperse them, but the youth remain resolute in demanding that this brutality, this police brutality must stop. Enough should be enough. Enough should be enough. I mean, people don't die twice, even to the point that our moms, our mothers, and our sisters are just joining the protest. Huh? We cannot say the youths are the future of tomorrow, and we keep killing them. We can't, honestly, sometimes the whole thing just makes you sick. The whole thing just makes you sick. Because you look at them and you think, how did we get here?
Make it talk. Let her talk now. Let it talk now.
Please, I allowed you to take the lead. Please let me talk. Take it in the name of God.
Vibrate.
We were here this afternoon. We spoke with the deputy speaker and we told him that we are here to stay. Please, did the deputy speaker agree or not?
Yeah.
God bless you. We were here this evening. The chief of staff, Mr. Tayo Ayinde, came here and he spoke to us. And we respectfully asked him that we are allowed to stay in this place. He told us we are welcome.
It's the safest place in Lagos State to stay.
He got. However, 20 minutes later, we saw the CP. We got pointed at us, unarmed citizens of Nigeria. They pointed guns at us. They did not engage us. They did not ask us anything. They did not tell us anything. And they went, took off the tents, took off the swords, switched off everything, and told us to take away our cars or else it will be towed away. They even came with towing vehicles. They pointed guns at us, took away the chairs, and made us sit on the floor like criminals. We are not criminals. We want to know. I want answers to that.
Yes.
I have apologized.
We do not want an apology, sir.
Well, that is just out of respect. I have apologized.
Thank you.
I wasn't here when the tents
Sir,
or
you
the
can
items were taken
on whose
away.
orders?
But let me say this. I think the most important is
I think, if I'm being honest, I'm trying to understand the psyche of the Nigerian society when it comes to issues like this. And one thing that keeps coming back to me is, I think the Nigerian society is still suffering from the military hangover. That is the only plausible reason I could see. Because you see Mopo is brutal. You see Navy, brutality. You see police, same thing. You go to the Oga Patakpata, the army, it's brutality squared. How on earth will this level of madness continue that your citizens you swore to protect, you swore on oath to protect, those in uniform, just like my good friend and brother John Okulie said, there is nothing deadlier than a murderer in uniform. And you see them, that's what they are. The reason they keep murdering is because no one takes them to jail. No one basically does anything. It appears everything is just like that. As it is, believe me, this revolution that is coming will be televised. It will be televised. It's already coming because you can see the anger of the people. There is a video I'm looking for. I mean, if I just see that video quickly, I'll play that video for us. You can see the agony of a father agonizing how his young son was killed. What was the young son's crime? A father, the agony. I call that video the agony of a father, agonizing the death of his young son. Why? Why was his son killed? Now, crime, you are Nigerian. That's why. That's the only reason you are Nigerian. That's the only reason you got killed. Because in a place you call Nigeria, he could be killed and no questions will be asked. Everybody will just move on as if nothing happened. Oh, all is well. Well, it's just one of those things. But for how long shall the people continue to accept this level of barbarity? How long can the people accept this level of madness? It's sick. It's very sickening. And I pray, honestly, I pray that it doesn't stop like this. Now, let's come to the meat of the matter. You know, like I said before at the beginning, people have said if it's end SARS or reform SARS. Honestly, without sounding like a broken record here, I think the nomenclature is irrelevant. If it's ending SARS or if it's reforming it. But one thing I think that is fundamental and it's necessary is the protest itself. The protest itself is needed because it's only the protest that can lead to either a serious discussion for reforms or a serious conversation for total discarding of SARS. Without this protest, nothing. I would want to play us a clip of one of the things because it appears they are getting the message now. They are suddenly getting the message. One of the guys at the at the Lagos State Assembly, what he said, because at the end of the day, if care is not taken, if the revolution at all, if it comes, everyone will be consumed. There is no two ways about it. Every single one will be consumed. So you think you have your bodyguard now, therefore every other person should perish. People, you better think twice. And this is a message for the rulers, for those that govern. You better think twice. You better think twice. Because it might be too late very soon. Very soon it might be too late. I'm just trying to grab this video, but obviously, hopefully I will get that. So, and when it comes to if it's gonna be reform or not, I don't think, like I said, if we are serious and genuine, then a reform could do. Now, let me share this with us. Look at this picture, very critical. Look at this picture. One is a police officer, and the other is a SARS officer. Now, you tell me, could you on earth believe that these two individuals work for the same entity, law enforcement? Look at him. The one on the right already looks like a criminal. The one on the left, decently dressed. What a paradox. What a paradox. To see that something like this is possible in your own country. In your own country. And lives are being lost every single day for no just reason. People just die for no just reason. You just kill them for no, as if it is fun. For no just reason. No reason. No reason. Just like that. And you look at them, it appears they kill for fun. Just, oh, yes, I want to kill somebody. Boom, the person dies. And because there, like I said before, there is no consequences for such actions. That's why people have been dying. Now, listen to this House of Assembly person, and
it is gone beyond just calling hotlines. It's gone beyond having reforms.
I think it's
The
Desmond
National
Elliott.
Assembly, as the Deputy Speaker rightly said, really need to look into it. The IG of police seriously must consider we are working for the people. If the unit we've set up is not working for the people,
Exactly.
and the
Dissolve
people
it.
are calling for it to be disbanded, then let us do what they are saying.
Exactly.
Because the truth is, you can't just arrest people on the road because of the hair they wear or they are carrying laptops. That is not to say we do not have bad people. But yes, because of the lack of training on how to deal civilly with people, we've now come to what SARS is today. So I totally am in alignment with what the prayers of the Deputy Speaker, and I feel that we should do that expeditiously. Thank you very much.
So you see, so he's not suddenly the heat appears to be getting home. Suddenly, the heat appears to be getting home gradually. Right? Now, I think if the system permits me, there is another one that I would play for us. You can see that gradually it's sinking in. But for me, it's not fast enough. As we speak, in this protest, someone was shot in Delta State. Someone was shot in Delta State. What was the crime? Just for coming out to protest. And I think, honestly, people, I can't say this enough, because what we need is that every life, every single life must matter to us. Every single life. It doesn't matter, whether the person is rich, whether the person is poor. Every single life must matter. If a society has to be a society that is anchored on commonsensical thinking, then every life must matter. Let's look at what Sheun Kuti, that's Fela's son, says about the whole madness happening.
You're a fool. You are just not, black people, they just don't want you to love yourselves, man. Don't you understand? Because the moment you love yourselves truly, you will never allow any rubbish. You will never stand in the bus stop and see only 3 policemen beating your brother or somebody of your community, and you'll be looking, filming, begging them. You can never beg your oppressor for your freedom. You have to fight him for it. My father lost a house and a mother. Do you know what I will? Which na police, na SARS do am?
That'll be SARS.
She na SARS born Kalakuta.
No.
Was there SARS when Kalakuta was born down? Let's say that today it starts. Isaac Boro, if there are Niger Delta people here, they will tell you who Isaac Boro is in this country. Isaac Boro was the first man to stand up as an indigenous of Nigeria to fight imperialism directly, militarily. Isaac Boro started fighting Shell for what they were doing in 1956. 1956. Do you know the people that went to fight and arrest him and kill the people for fighting Shell? Nigerian army. It was the Nigerian army that Shell sent with Shell gunboats to go and decimate the people of the Niger Delta fighting for their right. Your army was sent by Shell, a foreign company.
What a shame.
The Nigerian army and police was created to kill black people to protect West Africa. Nothing has been done to change that. The way Nigeria gun was created to exploit our labor and our resources for the interest of Europeans, and nothing has been done to change that. All our leaders want to do is collect their share out of it. That's the leadership you have. That's why you can't stop. Because they are content with their share of your oppression. That's why every generation, thousands and millions of us fall into poverty, whether you like it or not. But if people are here joking, doing bullshit, playing with your life, following anybody that just comes, because you don't love yourself. They've trained you not to love yourself. So as
You see, I mean, you've had it, his own perspective. Like I said before, the brutality. That's what I actually brought in the police brutality. Actually, probably should have been the security forces brutality, because, as he rightly said, Karakuta Republic, which was where his late father lived, the legend of our time, a prophet of our time, a man I so much admire, late fella Nicola Bokuti. And when he lost the grandmom, now shown grandmom, that's a mother to fella Nicola Bokuti, the people that went in and did the nonsense they did were named and tagged unknown soldiers. So again, it is a comprehensive, brutality of and oppressive regime of all the security apparatchik in Nigeria, be it the DSS. Remember, the other time the Shiite were protesting in Abuja. Do you know who came and shot with live ammunition? The Presidential Brigade Guard. The Presidential Brigade Guard Special Squad meant for the president were the people that came in and shot with live bullets. These people are not DSS. They're not SARS. So it doesn't matter. DSS, whatever you call them, all the SSS, whatever, they appear to come from the same mother. Whether there is, so when I begin to think deep and try to analyze this, the only thing that I can anchor it in is to say, man, there must be something with, maybe we are still suffering seriously from the military hangover. That's the only thing I can probably the only way I can console myself to make sense out of the whole senselessness. Let's say what's it called? But one of the P squares.
Guys, I think it's about time we open up, man. I call on my colleagues, man. Do a short video and condemn these motherfuckers. You see these people call SARS. For how long? Please, Mr. President, Vice President, for how long will you guys allow this thing to happen? Even the real criminals now, Nigerians are not even afraid of them.
Exactly.
We are now afraid of people that are supposed to be protecting us. Please end SARS. We don't need them. Because soon everybody will start protecting themselves. Trust me. These people are robbing people. How many times are people showing their evidence that they have been taken to ATM, they take them to bank, they transfer money? For how long, man? Man, guys, more not keep quiet too, because trust me, we are not safe. We are not safe. Mr. President, Vice President, we are not safe. This is unfair to Nigerians.
Now, think about this. Where I have read several reports, people coming down from Lagos to the east, and they get to Benin bypass, they stop them, take them to one side. These are SARS, these are security operatives. Ask them, check their phone. If they see any transaction, bank transaction, they will detain the individual, take the individual, force you on gunpoint to use POS to transfer money if you don't have cash. Now you ask yourself, isn't the system rotten? Isn't the system useless that the system is not able to track and punish the person who that POS transaction was linked to, or the account the POS was linked to? Obviously, what is the essence of having a BVN if such transaction could be done and nothing happens? It is. When you think about all these things, it really gets you worked up, and you really keep thinking, why does it appear that no one is really interested in seeing that this?
They are meant to be a menace to armed robbers, not a menace to the average Nigerian. Why is it? He has paid lip service to this matter about 4 times. He will release a statement, and the next day the boys are back on the road. The time is going to come, Mr. Speaker, when the people are going to rise up. They're going to start asking themselves, where are the SARS officials? And they're going to take up arms and start fighting the SARS people. And that's going to be terrible, because the security situation of the country is already in a precarious state. We can't afford it to get worse. So we call on the Inspector General of Police to end this menace now, to end this madness now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, now, you see, like I said before, suddenly, this is now National Assembly. The other one, Elliot, the former Nigerian Nollywood actor, was in Lagos. So people are beginning to lend their voice. The only reason I'm doing this video is also to lend my voice to against the police brutality and to say that this police brutality must stop. Our lives matter. Now I will conclude this segment with this video that would now serve as a food for thought for all of us. You might be watching me now thinking, what is Maazi on about? You know, when you live in a glass house, you shouldn't throw stones. When a life is lost, it should bother you because you don't know who is going to be next. Now, this is I said this video is the agony of a father who lost a son by the sheer recklessness of this same man. Now, but before I do, I will say, may the soul of that young man rest in peace. Because obviously, you can see the agony, and yet this man probably will never get succor.
I lived in the north up to 12 years. I never lost a finger. I came back here only for somebody to waste my son. There was no war. There was no fight. There was no riot. Not that the boy was involved in any fracas. Not that he was stealing. Not that he was robbing. Just cold-bloodedly, they wasted this boy for me. Oh God. Avenge for me. Avenge his blood. Avenge. The Lord will surely do it for me. The Lord will surely do it for me.
Man, this is so painful. You watch a father lose his son because someone is careless, because a bunch of people are so untouchable that they believe we can do nothing to them. A bunch of people think we cannot do anything to them. That's why they will let this be. That's why reoccurring decimal every single year. Remember, the vice president says reform SARS, yet these people walk around like criminals, dressing like touts, going around the streets in this way and manner. Come on, these people, these are security operatives. It breaks one's heart. And I say, in all together, we have to come together as a people. May the souls of those brothers and sisters that have died in the brutality caused, untimely death caused by the security operatives, because it's gone beyond SARS. The Nigerian army is no different. People keep losing their lives. May their souls rest in peace. I say amen to that. It's really, honestly, it's really heartbreaking. I don't know the one that, honestly, I don't want to show that one. It breaks my heart. A young boy in Delta State, in protesting, he was shot. You can see his leg dangling. And this was done by a human being. A young boy that is probably not up to maybe 11, 12. It could be any of our sons or any of our daughters. It could even be any of us. Because this thing has no age barrier. How can a system be so wicked? Just like, I don't know, it saps so much energy out of me because it weakens me, to be honest. It weakens me. When I think about it, it weakens me, right? And SARS. Look, let me share my desktop actually. Now this is NSAS here. This is um, a in Kano, because it is not only in the south. Now this tweet is from Amnesty International, 4th of December 2019. Musab was killed by the Nigerian police on the streets of Kano. What was his crime? Look at him, a young, bright graduate, wasted. For what? And people are saying, where is the president? Do you know the protest that has happened so far is more than enough to prompt the president to address the nation? But hey, honestly, sometimes I wonder if that ear infection they went to United Kingdom to treat, if it ever if the infection ever left. I don't know. Because it appears you're pouring water to the rocks. And again, for those of you who are in the United Kingdom and who could join them at the Nigerian High Commission, 9 Northumberland Avenue, London, on Sunday. To say no to this, because yes, you are not at home, but you can join the protest, because you might be far away in Washington, in America, in the United Kingdom, in Germany, wherever you are. But you are as well as at risk as those who are at home. Because whenever you visit home, anything can still happen to you. Your siblings who are still at home could just get killed like that and nothing happens. So it is something that affects every single one of us. Lower class, middle class, upper class. Well, they are the ones that move on with police escorts and blare sirens and block our ears. Honestly, we have to. This is NSAS. So when I go to Twitter and I'm looking at it, just type in NSAS. You can see even tomorrow, a peaceful protest Saturday 10th. Again, this is Lekki Ikoyi Link Bridge. So let's see a way to sustain this protest. But part of it is the broadcast I'm doing this evening, dedicating over 30 minutes to this topic, for people to really come out and join the protest, because we cannot continue in this trajectory. There is no way. These are people, these are people that have come out. You can see what they are doing. And SARS operative also joining them. Only God knows what he's saying. Maybe trying to escort them to stop protest. But isn't it right that one thing they should be doing is that police should only escort protesters to ensure that there is free movement, right? There is free movement. Look at it. You see, you're looking at that video playing there. See? Look at it. Jesus Christ. Look at the way it just shot. Can you see that? Can you believe that something like this is happening? You just shot. Why? There was no threat. There was no threat to life. And you just shot in that way. I don't know. Sometimes I look at these things, I think something is wrong with us. On that note, I'll end this topic, and I'll move on to the next topic, which is that people now say that Anambra State Airport will be ready. Anambra State Airport. Sorry, I must laugh. And again, I must put this disclaimer before some of you would start trolling me on Twitter, on my email address, saying, Maazi, you said Anambra State Airport would open, but it didn't open. Please, I am not saying. I'm only trying to analyze what happened. Some of you saw it that the governor of Anambra State went to Abuja within the week. And while he was in Abuja, Anambra State Governor, that's Chief Willie Obiano, now disclosed that the State International Cargo Airport located at Umeri will be inaugurated in April 2021. And now we are in October, November, December, 6 months. So in 6 months' time, according to Obiano, that the Anambra Airport will be ready. I have tried another information here. I have tried several times to get into the Anambra airport, and the people here at Njenje Media have tried. No one allows you to get access there to record anything. So we are only, and I am only, reporting on what has been said. It will be good news. It will actually be a miracle because while he was in Abuja, he spoke with the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, saying, I want you to come to Anambra April 2021 to cut the tape. Anambra, again, I don't know. And when he came back, that's another thing. When he came back, there was this Anambra Luxury Place Estate, a public-private partner. That is a PPP project between the state government and Rotec Energy Services Limited, Nkwere, where he went for that, and he said that the Anambra State, let me actually quote him, he said, the Anambra State International Airport will be inaugurated in April next year. It will be one of the best in the country. And he also encouraged people to invest in this estate, saying Nkwere, GRA, is just 10 minutes drive from the airport. The airport is just 10 minutes drive from these estates that Obiano was projecting. Do I have more information on that? No. Like I said before, and I've shown pictures that I was sent before, the pictures of the airport, the pictures of the tower, as it is that the airport will be ready in April. If it's going to be ready in April, I say, hallelujah. Thank you. But onye Hausa ka so tolobaya ka afunanya. You see, we have seen a lot of failed promises. Remember, the airport was meant to be ready April 2020, 6 months ago, right? So it wasn't. So we have missed the first target. Now another target is April 2021. Are we going to, see the same thing? Another missed target? I don't know. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe he seriously wants to shock everyone. Maybe that's the reason why he is keeping it secret. On that note, Anambra State International Airport to be ready in April 2021. Let's see if that is going to be if it's going to work. Now, before I close this evening, the last point that I want to speak to here is that we all saw videos, clips that ships now, not ships, that containers now land at Onitsha. And some of you who have sought my, my input to that, I said, some of you who have reached out to me, I said, well, because you have, tried reaching out to me on that, let me put that as part of my weekend hangout. And I think there are followings. As I do understand them, this is what I understand. Yes, there is plan for ships. No, not ships. No, maybe barge, or barger or barge, to dock there. Small container carrying units. So, for historical note here, during the time of Jonathan, that Anambra or Onitsha port was rehabilitated. From history here, that port was constructed in 1983 under late President Shehu Shagari. So that was the man who constructed it. Eventually, Buhari took over. Everything went, the other way around. We had series of military intervention, and nothing happened until 2011, 2012. Now, in August 12th, 2012, the former president Goodluck Ebele Jonathan came to Anambra State, came to Onitsha to commission it. After the commissioning, everything stalled. Typical Nigeria. Typical Nigeria. Why did it stall? They had issues with concessions, So obviously the concession issue dragged up to today. Now you have the new person heading the inland waterways, in the person of Morgal, who is from Nnewi. The reason why I'm going into this historical fact is for you watching me to understand what is happening. Because it is not a yes or no answer. If you say yes, that containers are landing there, you could be wrong. If you say no, that containers are not landing, you could also be wrong. Therefore, you have to listen carefully to make your judgment. By the way, I have over 100 people watching me. Show me some love, like the video, subscribe to this channel, and share this video, because what I do every weekend is for us to look at issues dispassionately. Propaganda is not for this channel. We look at issues dispassionately, review them, and to make sense out of them. Now, back to the Onitsha port. Thank you very much for liking the video. Thank you, those that have done it. Thank you very much. So, back to the Onitsha port. Once this was done in 2012, till 2020 is 8 years. Bear in mind, that's 3 years when, before Jonathan left. Since Jonathan left, that's 5 years. Now, suddenly, videos started trending last week. Oh, that containers are now landing here. I'll play some of these videos for us for understanding purposes, right? So for some of us to actually understand. And by the way, there is this tragedy happening in Anambra State now that most of the Nzam, Ibariam are all flooded, okay? Most of these areas are all flooded. And it is also a tragedy happening that not many people are talking about. So these are some of the videos here. So you can see, they say container. Now this video, we are not independently verified by myself, but these are the videos from Onitsha, as they say, okay? So you've seen this video here. Now let's look at this. Reason why I want to play this one. Pay attention. This was when Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra State, was still the governor. That was when, I think this video now was in 2012, right? In 2012. Pay attention. This is not a recent video. again, this for people misinforming the whole public. I'm not taking anybody's credit away, but what I'm here on this channel to do is to state facts. This video you're watching was a report of 2012.
For almost 6 decades, efforts have been on to establish a viable seaport here in Onitsha. The project, it appears, is now halfway done, and for some, the waiting will soon be over.
Our happiness is that the moment it starts operational, cost of things will get cheap, will get cheaper here, unlike before. Many jobs, like I said, jobs will be created, and I see it. I mean, I see it coming into completion or being flagged off.
Sorry, once more. Obviously, the something keep happening to my and this
Don't come back.
now. Let me come back.
3 days interval. I can't check you. I know.
So okay. Let me come back to this. Okay, so let me, coming back to this, one thing that I want us to now understand from this is, yes, it is true. I haven't tested it myself, but I can show us the following. It is true you can send your goods from America, from China. Let me do a live demo. Obviously, the government should pay Njenje Media for explaining these things to the people. But my job here is for my people to always break these things down for us to comprehend what is happening. Now, I can share my screen here, and you can see if we go to Maersk. Now, this is the, that is the Maersk here. That is the shipping company that we have been told are the ones that can bring these containers to Onitsha. Let's say I bought 2 cars from New Jersey. That's where I normally ship cars from, Newark. And I put in here Newark, and I go, you can do this yourself. Just go to maersk.com/shadows. No, sorry, /shadows. So you see their schedules. They're not giving you code, but they're just telling you if you ship this item today from this airport, from this wharf, or from this, this is when you are going to receive it in Onitsha. Now, and I say my destination is here, Onitsha, Nigeria. Then I'll search for information. Obviously, whatever, this is not a government website, so any information you see here is authentic and genuine. Now, they say the deadline you need to drop your item at the port is on the 7th. And it leaves, you can see that here. So these are the details, right? When you take the search, which I've done here, the New Jersey in the United States of America to Onitsha, Nigeria, you can see that here. And the transit time, that means the number of days it has to stay before it gets into Onitsha is 43 days. ETA, okay? That's the ETA on that, 43 days. And you can see it departs, if you submit it on the 7th, it's going to depart on the 20, sorry, that's a different one, sorry. Another one, so you see, the first one is going to be, this is the deadline, departure, right? 33 days is going to take, because that vessel is going to move via Detroit and eventually lands in Onitsha in 40. So if, let's say you have a car today and you want to use that car in December, 1 month till today is 8th of November. You know, it's 30 days or 31 days. Then you go again. So your car is probably not going to come out again before Christmas, or you might be lucky it comes. That is another fact. That is another fact. Now, the jubilation, and that's where I want many of you to pay attention now. The jubilation that this is now working, that, you know, everybody, what was not possible before is not possible. It's now possible. And I have asked this question in one of my essays, and I have asked this question in some of the groups that I belong to, and I've asked this question on Twitter. The question is very simple. Have we resolved the concession issue that hindered the wharf or the port from operation since 2012? No one has been able to answer that question. I've read a couple of things being written. And I understand the game being played here, because the moment this came out, some of us reacted. We were quickly told, well, the port is not functional now. It's going to be functional in 2021. The question then thereof is, who planted this news that Onitsha port is now functional? Who? Remember, one of the things that made us go into Enugu International Airport's details were, we saw photos flying around. We saw Port Harcourt International Airport photo, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport Abuja photo, all flying around saying this is the Enugu International Airport that the Igbo nation must jubilate. And Maersk came back saying to Onitsha, but it does not go by